Hey guys, how you doing? It's Art from Arts Model Trains. So welcome back, and let's talk about my trip to the Spring 2025 York Show. So first, I want to say thank you. Everyone who watched my preview video apparently listened and stopped me, Dell, and Ray multiple times throughout the show, and it was awesome to hang out with everybody and talk. I spent more time talking with everybody at the show than buying trains, which is great, which is what I wanted out of the show. Well, first, it saves my wallet, and second, like that's what I really enjoy about it is meeting people and talking to them. So thank you everybody for doing that. Second, I want to say thank you to the Lower Susquehanna Valley Modular Railroad Club for letting us in. I got to test run something I bought, which you will see soon. And they, fed us and gave us some beer. It was awesome. It was a great time. So I really appreciate that. And then I also want to say thank you to Chris Trains and Things. I got to bring my Hiawatha full with 7 passenger cars and run it on his amazing layout. And it looks so cool going around his wide curves. And I ran it at speeds on his layout that I would never come close to on my layout. So it was really cool. So thanks again, Chris. All right, guys, so let's dive into what I got while I was at York. So if you remember my preview video, or if you didn't watch my preview video, I was looking for not really a lot of things, but I was kind of hoping to score a Dreyfus Hudson, Lionel or MTH within a reasonable price. Unfortunately, I did not see any there. I saw one that had a PT tender. I can't run the PT tender on my layout. So unfortunately, that was something I couldn't find. I did see a couple of FEF units that I almost picked up, but I was really looking more for a Niagara, but every Niagara I saw there is the Vision Line Niagara. It's too expensive. The prices people wanted for it were just too much. So I passed on all that. So I'll fill you in a minute of what I did with that budget. But let's start with some of the small stuff I picked up at the show. So first on a table there, I grabbed a couple of loads for a really cheap couple bucks. This one's a pipe load, and this one came out of an MTH gondola. I'm hoping to put this in my K-line gondola that I have, my CNJ K-line gondola, just because the load looks is weathered in a much better way than K-line did. I fit it and it doesn't quite fit, so I have to trim the corners, but I'm not really sure what this is made of or how well that's going to come out. So I'll try to do it with my Dremel, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it was only a couple bucks. Of course, I picked up JT's Mega Steam, smoke fluid, and I needed some Woodland Scenics products to start to work on doing the scenery on my mountain. So I got some glue and stuff there, which is great. So I'm really excited to get that started. I'm going to be watching a few of the other guys' videos like Matty C and Chris Trains and Things to get some hints about how to do my scenery because I want to try to make it look good. I don't think I'll ever get to the level that those two have achieved, but I'm hoping to just make it look good for my first attempt. All right. So what else did I get? Okay, so I went to the Grzybowski's booth, and there was a couple things there that caught my eye. First, they had a table with a bunch of little stuff on it, and on there were a bunch of lanterns, really cheap. This lantern was 20 bucks, and somebody had pre-wired it already for a light, but I'm going to rip all that out. And I'm going to put the Lowe's sells these little LEDs that flicker like a candle. And I've done this once before in another lantern. So I'll drill a hole in this, insert that with some wire and everything. And I'm going to hopefully get a bracket and hang it above the layout. But it was really cool because of the red glass in this. I just think that's going to look really cool once I get it all set up. And it was really cheap. So thank you, Joe. This was awesome. I'm glad he brought stuff like that because, it's just fun to find something other than trains to fill out your train room. So, no, I am not switching to Atlas track, but I did pick up, this is 10 pieces of 045 Atlas track. I'm hoping my buddy Dell has 2 more pieces for me so I can get a full loop. But what I'm actually going to do is use this track around the Christmas tree. I'm going to make a permanent loop of wood, road bed, and then this track so that I can put it around the tree every year. The goal being the fast track 048 loop I was using was just too loud. We wouldn't run the train because you couldn't watch TV or couldn't do anything in the kitchen or anything and have a conversation because the train was making too much noise. So I'm hoping with this Atlas track and road bed going around the tree, it'll be better. We'll see. So I've got to figure that out before Christmas next year. All right, so let's dive into some of the bigger stuff. I was walking through one of the tables in the Orange Hall, and I saw a building, and I kind of was like, hey, Dell, let's take a look at it. And we were looking at it, and all of a sudden I'm like, what is that right behind it? And right behind it was this big blue box, which is actually the Golden Gate Depot coaling tower. And if you guys have ever seen this, it's an amazing coaling tower. So I'll show you a couple of photos of it on my layout because it's not in this box anymore. First, tell me guys what you think. I feel like it's a little big for the space it's in right now. I like it, but it may be a little big, but I do think I'm going to use it just because it's too nice to leave in the box for the next layout I build. But let me know if you guys think it's ridiculously too big, then maybe I'll take it off. I do still need to add the chains to it. There's an extra ladder piece. And I do want to try to weather it a little bit just to break up the color a little on it. But it's really, I got it for an amazing price compared to what I've seen it for elsewhere. Like, 1/3 of what I've seen it or 1/4 of what I've seen it on eBay. So I just couldn't pass it up. Okay, so working my way up then, I'll start in the top right-hand corner over there. For you guys, top right-hand corner, I guess. I went to the Hennings Booth, and there they had RMT cars. So I grabbed this RMT reefer. I thought it was really cool. Fits in with the New York Central kind of theme I'm building on my layout. And this is my first RMT car. So far, so good. I really like the detail and no problem with the trucks or anything like that. And I'm really impressed. And I actually have 2 other box cars on order for 2 other RMT cars on pre-order through Patch Trains. So we'll see how they look when those arrive. And then on Saturday, on the last day, I was in the Trains booth and I was digging through all the shelves there. And I ran into this CNJ. I believe this is a double sheathed boxcar, wood-sided double sheathed boxcar. Really cool. Fits in, obviously with my CNJ line as well. And I got it for a great price and just a really cool little boxcar. All right, so let's get into what's in that big orange box up there. So again, as I mentioned, I was searching for a Dreyfus or a Niagara, and I didn't find either of those. So what did I do with that budget? Well, I didn't keep it in my pocket, if that's what you're asking. But there was one thing at the Trains booth that just kept, bringing me back there. I must have visited that table, I don't know, half a dozen times looking at this thing and trying to make up my mind. And then finally, at the end of the day, I decided to pull the trigger. And I picked up these gorgeous, let me do it this way so you can see it, Lionel Legacy Shark Nose in the Army paint scheme AA unit. And these things are awesome. I just really love the way they look, and they just look awesome leading my military train. I'm really excited that I got them, and I'll throw some footage in here now of it running around this lower Susquehanna Valley layout as well as my layout. And I'm really excited that I picked these up. Not something I would normally grab. I usually buy Steam, but they kept catching my eye. And like I said, they were on a list of mine for a while, so I decided I'd go for it, and I got them for a great price. So I'm really excited about that. So that's all the stuff I bought at York. But if any of you have eagle eyes, you probably noticed there's one other thing on this table, and that is something I picked up at York. So I have a running joke with my friend Dell. Spring York, this time last year, I was just looking around for a Metro North set, and I actually found one. Stu from Mecca actually found it and texted me about it. I think it was the Blue Hall. I could be wrong. One Hall. Anyway. And I went over and checked it out. And it wasn't in a box. It was just in the styrofoam. And Dell and I were looking at it, and the wiring looked a little off. So he was like, you should pass on this. The guy didn't give me a good price on it, so I walked away. Fast forward to October last year. At the pre-show, Dell found some guy who was selling Metro North passenger cars really cheap. So he bought a handful of them. And then we go to the show, and we're walking around the hall, and that guy still had that same Metro North set sitting on his table. And Dell then negotiated and bought the Metro North set from the guy. And I was laughing because I was like, Dell, you didn't even want a Metro North set, and now you have 2 sets of them, basically, with all the passenger cars and the set that you bought. But Dell, being the good guy that he is, did end up selling me the 4-car set eventually of that Metro North set. And this is obviously just the powered unit. The rest is on the layout. You guys will see video of that running around my upper loop here. It is an amazing set, really cool. It is conventional right now. But Dell and I have talked about it. He converted one he had to Lion Chief. So I've already got the board, and I'm going to convert this one to Lion Chief as well. So I'm really excited about that. And thank you, Dell, for hooking me up with this. This is really cool. So that's it, guys. I'm really excited about it. Not a huge budget blowout kind of buy, but I think I got some really cool things out of this. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about that Coing Tower, first of all. And also let me know what you guys picked up at York, or if you were shopping online at the same time as York was going on. I know a bunch of stores were having deals like muffins. I think had free shipping. So hopefully you guys got something cool as well. Thanks for watching, guys. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time.